You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, or you just call me Dini, simply Dini. Yeah, so this is a pre-recorded episode, and I am so anxious to deliver this episode to your inboxes so that you can check it out. There will be a lot of insight, a lot of jewels shared, things of that nature. We have a very special guest for this segment, and that is why I'm so excited for you guys to hear this episode. I can guarantee you guys are in for a treat. Yeah, nevertheless. All right. No circumstance has the power to distract you from the direction that you have chosen. Anything that knocks you off track does so because you have allowed it to. Keep in mind that you give power to your circumstances. You kind of, what's the word? Well, I just want to say you add them to your life, your purpose, and your meaning. They are your reflection, not your essence. The world around you can influence you to the extent that you allow it. There's a part of you that no one, no thing can ever touch without your participation. The direction in which you point and focus that essential core of your being will largely determine the quality of your life. Pain and pleasure may both be quite compelling, yet they are outside of who you really are. Circumstances may be very alluring or terribly frightening, yet you exist beyond those circumstances. Keep that in mind and be true to your greatest possibilities and your greatest potential. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond. And once again, guys, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for always checking out our podcast. Being with us on this journey has been incredible, and as I'm growing, you guys are growing, so it's kind of like we're growing together. We're family. Growing pains, I guess. But you guys have stuck it out with us, and I just want to show appreciation to you guys for always calling in and catching the playback. It's been truly an honor of being your host, creator, and I guess self-proclaimed comedian, because only I think I'm funny, but that's another story. Anyway, welcome to the show.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kids it on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
Imagine being paid for using social media. WebTalk is changing the way we connect and get paid. WebTalk is the social media platform that pays you. With WebTalk, you can promote and manage all your social media sites from one place. It includes features like user search, media galleries, referral tracking, magic newsfeed, Meet video chat, classifieds, and much, much more. WebTalk is booming with over 4 million users. Manage, connect, engage, get paid. No matter why you network, you can do it better with WebTalk. You can connect with your friends, colleagues, and the world. Use WebTalk to consolidate, organize, and syndicate everything. Imagine your perfect networking app. You will find it with WebTalk. It's time to take back control of you. WebTalk is the best free way to communicate and create success. To learn more, visit myfreewebtalk.com. That's myfreewebtalk.com.
All right, again, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini. And our very special guest tonight, she goes by the name of Nikiya-Rodriguez, but a lot of you know her as Nikki Marie from the Nikki Marie radio show. Yeah, she does a lot. She's an advocate for illiteracy. As I mentioned, she's a podcast host, creator, content creator, blogger. What else does she do? I mean, incredible. She's a media assassin. I mean, that's the name of her show. Another show that she does, but she does like a bunch of shows, a bunch of things. She probably fights crime on the weekend, and as well as help eradicate the coronavirus. Who knows? She's a super scientist or some sort. I know she has some type of super power or ability. But yeah, she's here with us tonight, and we'll chat about all those things I've just mentioned, plus more. As I said, I'm so anxious to deliver this one to your inbox. So, our interviews go beyond the music, go beyond the business, the books, the films, the movies, the arts, the education, and even sometimes the ego. We go into the minds of these marvelous people who create these marvelous aspirations and share them with you and I and the universe. That is our mission, that is our goal. We have the questions and they have the answers. Sound like a commercial, right? Well, let's go ahead and dive deep. Here she is. Let's welcome her to the show. Nikiya, hi, and welcome to Vigilantes Radio Podcast.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
That was an amazing introduction.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am quarantined, but feeling great. I'm using this time wisely.
Yeah. So this quarantine stay-at-home order has forced a lot of us to be super creative and think outside the box.
Yes.
what is one of the ways that you've been, creative beyond your normal superpowerness that you possess? Like, what is one of the new things that you've taken up?
I have started homeschooling my kids, so it's been kind of a struggle getting them to focus. So that's kind of a new norm. But I've been doing like the same things. I started a blog just to like be more expressive.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like you said, you give power to your circumstances, and I think I've been just trying to figure out where I can focus more of my power. As you say, I'm a superwoman.
Most definitely, yeah.
So I mean, the ironic part of it is that I'm a full-time financial aid advisor. Man. So I'm still considered an essential worker to my job. So I'm still doing that, plus podcasting, plus now my daughter has her own podcast. So it's been a rocky journey.
Yeah. And I want to talk about all of that. So, but I want to go back to homeschooling. A lot of people are doing, school. School from home because schools are closed. So when the school year starts next year, are you going to still homeschool?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I would not like to. Although I always say, like on my podcast, that education starts at home. But it's been very different, and now I have more appreciation for the teachers. So if they're allowed to go back to school, I'll be like, hey, time to go.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But, in the moment, it feels like we have more control on what they're learning and how they learn it,
Right, that's true. It's more like one-on-one.
Yeah.
Versus having like 20 or 30 kids in a class.
Definitely. Are you able to identify like learning weaknesses?
Yes, even that. Yeah. The concentration is very difficult. And I don't know if it's because of everything that's being a distraction, because now it's like, okay, I'm at home, so I'm supposed to be distracted.
Yeah, there's cartoons and toys everywhere.
Exactly. And unfortunately, like, there's things around that I could kind of say, hey guys, if you don't do this, then you won't get this. But I don't think they can do that at school.
Right, yeah.
Unless you're like, well, we're going to take away your recess if you don't do your classwork.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you sharing tidbits? I know you do a blog and a radio show. Are you sharing your homeschool tidbits with other parents?
I haven't, but that's actually a good idea. Most of the articles that I've written so far are just basically like either something dealing with entertainment or something dealing with like my own personal life. I actually just got an article because I have a writer, and his name is Mac Stanley, and he's a therapist. And he just submitted an article to me about like what you can do now that we're in quarantine. So it's 5 steps men can take to create an amazing virtual date night. So that's for the couples, the couples that can't really be together or shouldn't really be together while we're under quarantine. But, everybody has a different way of doing things, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting.
But that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, on your blog, how personal do you get?
I get pretty personal, because even with my podcast, I started podcasting because I was diagnosed with postpartum and crazy social anxiety. And I felt like talking made me better. So I just started my podcast, and I just talked and talked and talked, and I started these voice journals to get myself, like, just, I guess, the focus of talking plus maybe helping somebody else that's going through depression and anxiety and not really sure how to deal with it and if they should seek help or not. So I think my podcast is very personal in the beginning of season 1. And then it kind of went into more of guests for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of transformed into Oprah?
In some ways. In some ways. You know, because everyone has a story to tell. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure you have your own story as well.
Oh yeah. It's fun to dig into the Oprah bag and, you know, kind of
see what happens.
Navigate through the backstories and, you know, see how we got here, and you know, compare notes to how we can relate in conversation and experience.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's very true.
So yeah, given that, Nikiya, let's talk about your story. And you can go back as far as you like. Like, where did your journey begin?
Oh, how far should I go back? I mean, I guess I could start with, like, the college years when I was going to Miami-Dade College, and I met this crazy Puerto Rican guy and got pregnant and was taking my son to school with me in, like, one of those, I wouldn't say duffel bag, because then that just sounds like I'm a bad mom. But it was one of those, like, carry-on kind of. It wasn't like one of those, the ones that you would carry in your chest. It was kind of like, back then, it was like a purse, or it looked like a purse. But, you know, I took him to school, got my work done. I started a nonprofit organization to help students find employment and, you know, fix their resumes and all that other stuff. And I met someone named Tom Yamas, who is on NBC, I believe, now, kind of inspiring the journalistic side of me. And so I just, you know, I changed my major from business to journalism. Fast forward, and that was in Miami. Fast forward, I lost my job. Like, a lot of life changes happened.
Yeah.
And I took a chance and moved myself, my son, my ex, to New York, and just found some way to inspire myself to want more. And so I went to school again to pursue the business degree, and just kept going. And I had so many obstacles, and, you know, I was married, then I got divorced. It was a lot. It was a lot going on.
Yeah. That whole
but I
migration.
came out of it.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, but I came out of it better.
Yeah.
So I think in life you go through trials and tribulations, and it still goes back to that key part of what you said, which is you give power to your circumstances. And had I not taken certain circumstances to get out of my bad situation, I don't think I would have made it to a better situation.
Yeah. So that whole migration from Florida to New York, that's a big move. How long did you think about that before you actually, you know, took that step?
Well, I used to live here in New York. I'm originally from Harlem. And
nice.
I left New York when I was 11, went south. We moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, then Georgetown, South Carolina, then Miami. Then I couldn't find employment there. And so I made the decision to come back to New York because I said, you know, my family is here. Maybe there's an opportunity here.
Yeah.
So when I did come to New York, it took me like 3 months to find a job. So I had everything kind of saved up, which I would like to say to your listeners, if you're going to do anything crazy, make sure you have enough money saved for at least 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the important part, having that backup plan, you know.
Right.
And all else fails. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also a sort of a writer, right? Because you've been in you've been a journalist for your own platform and you know other things. Are you more of a structured writer, or are you more of a freehand writer?
I'm more of a structured writer just because that's what I've been taught. But I kind of just want to have like a free flow where I don't have to worry about grammar or punctuation marks. But it really depends on the topic and who I'm trying to cater to, I guess. But I think as long as the message is there, I don't think people would really be like, oh, well, she missed a period there and she should have put a comma there.
Yeah, those grammar and punctuation experts out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm saying, because I mispronounce words all the time, and I could imagine, like, yo, Dini, that's not how you say that word. Hey, it happens, right?
This is how, right.
Right, yeah. So you're also a content creator, and that's the space that we find a lot of blogs and podcasts, videocasts, as being the more directive, you know, term to use when you're dealing with digital media. So we have a lot of listeners who are just starting out, or, you know, who want to do the things you do as a content creator. Let's talk about that thing about repetition and, you know, keeping content fresh. And I don't know, it may be super easy for you, but it's super hard for me. It's another job. It's another 9-to-5 job, if you ask me.
Right.
But yeah, let's talk about your whole process, how you organize yourself to, you know, be the content creator that you are.
A lot of sleepless nights. I think it's more of, what do you want to convey to your viewers, and how much are you willing to put in the work? Yeah. A lot of apps are free, and even like I have a sponsor, which is Anchor, and the first thing that I say is, it's free, and free is for me. So you want to try to practice, like I use Video Shop. You want to kind of practice on certain apps what you would like to put out there. I never actually considered myself to be a content creator, but I know I do post a lot of different things, and sometimes I have to use Canva, which is canva.com.
Very great.
To do like my flyers. I started using like the animated social media videos and stuff like that. So I think it's just a matter of being free to be expressive and not focus so much on how much something is going to cost, or is it going to be practical. Like, most people will go out and spend thousands of dollars because they feel like it's going to be the most clean and polished thing.
Yeah.
But we're all just starting out, and some people I know just use their phones.
Yeah.
Like, I call myself the iPhone photographer because all I do is use my phone. And there's actually a director that I know, Remo, who uses his iPhone. He has the iPhone 11, I think. And he just has like this little thing where he's turned the camera a certain angle. He's just an artist just from using your phone. You'd be amazed.
Yeah. Just using the tools you have.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Video Shop, Canva, with Video Shop, I believe a lot of YouTubers are using that just for different videos. You can put text in, you can slow things down, you can split the video. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I've never heard of Video Shop. That's cool.
Yeah, it's free.
Really?
Obviously, like the more pro you go, you do have to pay something. Like it'll be like $9.99 or something like that. But the free portion is just as good.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Yeah.
So, do you experience any burnout periods?
I do and I don't. I know the other day my daughter woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I had just went to sleep at 1.
Oh.
I think I fell asleep on the couch, just like my eyes just went. That was probably the most exhausted that I felt. But I usually don't get more than 4 hours, even though my doctor says I'm supposed to get like 6 or 7.
All right.
But I think it's like, I try to tell my mom, I think there's like this creative thing in my head where it, like my brain is defeating my body. It's like, no, you gotta stay up. You gotta stay up. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And I wouldn't recommend people do that. Like, you do need your rest moments. Maybe the best thing I could probably do for myself and just other people that are listening, write a list of things that you need to accomplish for that day. And once everything is checked off, and it doesn't have to be a list of like 20 things. It could be maybe 5 that Monday and maybe 5 that Tuesday. But once it's done, like, give yourself a rest. Don't overdo it.
Most def, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done, but
right, yeah.
I'm going to try. By next week, I'm going to try.
That's always my line. Next week. Sunday. Sunday is a new day. It's a new week. Start fresh.
Yeah.
And then my to-do list has a to-do list for that to-do list.
Right. Right. I know. Like, I still have things I haven't even finished editing for my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, you said she has a podcast now. What are some of the things that she chats about?
Yes. So she just started her podcast, and she was actually just featured on a kind of like a celebrity website. Nice. But she's 6 years old. It's called the VIP section, the where she was featured. But her podcast is called Haley J and Friends, and she just talks about different things that kids want to talk about: food, school. Why do we have to go to school all the time? Just maybe going outside, playing around. We're also getting into book reviews. She just had her first interview with a chaplain who's also a clinical psychologist. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Awesome. And
she's on Anchor right now.
Okay. Yeah, Anchor is taken off. It wasn't around. It wasn't around 6 years ago when I started podcasting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was all the paper bandwidth thing, and but we migrated to another platform since then. But yeah, Anchor came out about a year and a half ago, 2 years maybe, roughly.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3
years.
Yeah, well, it's still
or
pretty.
It could
new.
be 4 actually. Right, and then Spotify came on board, and it just kind of made the transition easier from Anchor to Spotify. Like just getting the audio and everything uploaded with both of them. But I love Anchor because you post something and you have like 12 different platforms that it comes on.
Yeah.
I recently had to apply for Pandora, so now I'm on Pandora.
Nice.
And iHeartRadio. Yeah.
iHeartRadio has its own stipulations on how you can get on there. So congratulations.
Right.
For
Thank you. It took 2 years and 155 episodes.
Nice.
But finally got on there.
Yeah. And your show has combined forces with other shows, correct? Like Common Sense, Web Talk, Media Assassins. How did those partnerships come about?
So I have a professional page on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't heard of LinkedIn, you should go on it because it's like a business page. I mean, it's a Facebook page for professionals, and it's like your whole resume. And you meet other people that are either in your field or that have some other professional business experience. And I guess someone recognized and was like, hey, you're doing a great job, especially with financial literacy. Would you like to come on board? So I'm like, come on board what? I checked them out and I said, this is great. We started Leadership and Readership Hour, where we talked to different authors and business people about finances, the importance of it, and also the importance of reading and writing and how to become an author. Then finally linked up with someone else, Janelle Mecca Holmes, for Media Assassins. And, Media Assassins, Public Enemy, is all in the same realm. So the guy who's my co-host, he's also the COO of the Supernatural Inc., which is affiliated with Chuck D. So a lot of things have to go by him before we can even post anything.
Oh, wow.
So we had Easy Mo B on. Not sure if anyone remembers or knows him because he's not like the Dr. Dre or any type of
but he's
producer
still
that people. Yes.
Yeah.
But he's a very humble guy. He talked about his experience with, producing for Biggie Smalls, Tupac Shakur, LL Cool J, just so many different people. He won a Grammy. So it's just a lot of things that people don't know about him. But we were happy to have his story out there, and it's on YouTube for under Media Assassins.
Nice. So also one of your passions is tackling financial literacy.
Yes.
The development of communities and young people, because that talk is not prominent in our educational system for some reason. Yep. And that's the biggest driving force of our economics. So
right.
But that's another story. So how did you get into financial literacy?
So when I was still in Miami, I took a job as a financial aid officer. I had no clue what this was. I knew that, when I was at Miami-Dade College, I did federal work study. I had someone complete my FAFSA application and everything else that I needed for college, but I never really took the time to read it or do it myself. So once I became a financial aid officer, I had to learn the federal rules and regulations. This was back in 2007. Fast forward, when I came to New York, I took a job as a financial aid advisor, and I just saw a lot of students not reading things and getting into a lot of loan debt. Not even realizing, and they complained a lot about not knowing that they had student loans and all kinds of stuff. I'm just like, how do you not know? But I forgot that I was that same student. So I'm like, what can I do to help people really grasp the concept of what they're doing? I did an interview with someone that was a real estate advisor, and she's like, so would you recommend loans? And I said no. And she's like, whoa, a financial advisor advising people not to take out student loans? I'm like, yeah, because people don't remember that they borrowed those loans and have no plans of paying the loans back. So, I mean, it's just a matter of the desire to help people. It goes back also to the podcast. My desire was to help people. You know, my motto is let your voice be heard. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I wanted to do the podcast to let my voice be heard, but also if I needed to help someone else. So just everything that I've done just went on to how can I help? How can I help? And then I also think about my kids. Yeah. How can I help them as well?
Most definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the next phase of Nikki Marie Radio? Where are you headed next?
Wherever the sky takes me. I feel like, you know, people might say it's cliche, but wherever God takes me, whatever His plan is, whatever I feel in my heart, if I get that little itch for something more than what I'm already doing, and I 100% believe in it, that'll be the next step.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just to help my daughter. She did a book review this morning, and I always ask her, do you want to do a podcast? She says yes. She'll be ready right there. Mommy, where's my mic? And I'm like, she's 6.
Yeah.
But whatever she feels, you know, right now, I'm like, hey, I'm behind you 100%.
Yeah. That's incredible. She's walking in your footsteps.
Yeah. I see she looks at me a lot. She's following me and dancing like me and getting a little bit of an attitude like me. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch everything I do.
I was just going to ask you that, like, how surreal is that moment when you realize that someone is watching and will eventually imitate your decision making, your dance moves, the things you pose, they're looking, they're watching, and that you have an effect on not only your children but other people who are watching you?
It's humbling.
Yeah.
I was told a long time ago by one of my supervisors, never change who you are. I'm a nice person. I don't want anyone to see me not being a nice person because of something that they're doing. So I just want to set the tone for what I've always been. I've always been a mama's girl. I'm my mom's only child. Shout out to my mom. So it is a very humbling experience because there was a time when I was not vocal, where I would not post things, and just being a podcaster has changed my perspective on the power of you, the power of what you can do as a person, how just one person can change the world. And it depends on what it is that you're doing. Like I was telling my fiance, one man can't change the world by himself. We all have to, you know, build together and put our hands in it together to make the world stronger. But to see myself the person that I've become just from podcasting, I'm very excited, and I'm humbled by the people that either look up to me or listen to me, and my daughter who wants to follow in my footsteps. I'm very humble.
Yeah. Well, let everyone know where they can find your show, connect with you online, and all those wonderful links that you have to share with our listeners.
Everything is under Nikki Marie. Everyone spells it with 2 Ks, but it's actually 1. So it's Niki, Marie_radio. I also have a website, nikiya-rodriguez.live, and you can listen to my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Pandora, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and so many other places. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you as well.
I want to give a shout out to my daughter as well, Haley Jeffries, and her podcast is on anchor.fm, Haley J and Friends, which is HALEY.
All right. And guys, we will have all those links in the description of the episode. So all you have to do is click those links and it'll take you right to it. All the information that you need to connect with her and her show. Make sure you check all of it out. All of it is incredible, I guarantee you.
Thank you.
I just want to again thank you so much for being our guest of honor this evening. Looking forward to
I
more
appreciate you
shows.
so much.
Yeah, that you're putting out, all the content that you're releasing. Some great stuff there.
Thank you. Happy to be on the show.
Thank you. Well, enjoy your night.
Yes, thank you. You too. Take care.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.only1mediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.